Hi guys, Ren here and welcome to the workshop. Today I want to talk about shoes. More specifically, the S-Works EXOS shoes that I got last summer. Now, I'm aware that Specialized have already launched the new RS version and I'm getting those pretty soon, both for myself and to the shop, because they look to be really interesting. But that's when I thought maybe it's time to give you an update on the EXOS version. That's very different from basically anything else out there on the market. And before we do that, let's start with a normal shoe. Now this is my trusty S-Works 6. I've had this pair for the last 4 years, and even though I took care of them, the wear starts to show, but nevertheless still very nice shoe all around. So what do you have in a standard road race shoe? Stiff carbon sole, the now I would say signature S-Works heel cup, solid plastic, very secure hold, and a couple of boadals and quite a solid structure. These also have a strap on the front that's also very typical for the S-Works 6 and 7. Anyway, it's a shoe basically, and the reason I'm telling you all this is because the EXOS is not. It's very different in every aspect. Mainly, if you talk about the material of the upper, as I already said in the introduction video of these. So this is what the S-Works EXOS upper is. Yeah, it's not really a shoe. Why is that important? And why did I even get this shoe? In the summer, when I was doing quite a large volume of riding in hot weather, I started to have problems with my outermost toe, and I got really bad burning in all regular shoes. And the reason I have chosen this is because it has this pliable Dyneema style upper, which flexes wherever you need it and however you need it. And because of that lack of any solid outer structure, it's extremely comfortable. Now there have been some mixed reviews, particularly regarding power transfer. So apart from this, the shoe does have some downsides. So it's definitely not a sprinter's shoe, hence I would say the RS was released. But for everything else, I would say it's pretty damn good. The main benefit, as I said, comes in hot weather. Here they perform really remarkably well. And it's thoroughly ventilated. The upper is very thin, very breathable. The sole has these cutouts like the S-Works 7 vent that came afterwards, that uses the exact same sole, which makes it not as stiff but very lightweight and breathable. So yeah, in that regard, the reason why I bought it, it's pretty damn excellent. Particularly the way I use it for long sustained efforts. I did my Ironman relay in this, I did longer TTs in this, and yeah, all well and good. One thing I had to modify, I had to get rid of the standard insoles because they're just a piece of foam, so they don't really give you any support. And with this kind of shoe, it's a bit of a problem because yeah, there's not much support elsewhere, hence no structure. So how it works basically, if you put your foot in, you tighten it down, then your forefoot can still wiggle around a little bit with the stock insole. The whole insole can just float around. Then you have to start tightening it, and then it becomes good. But if you tighten it too much, having just one boadal here on the central section, it presses down on your foot. It's not very pleasant. So if you want secure power transfer, you're not really getting that with the standard insole. And that's when I started using the Solstar Black. That fits in there, has nice arch support. It's a very stiff unit made out of carbon fiber. I had to trim it down a little bit because specialized shoes come in this weird size where a 42 sole star insert is too small, a 43 is too large, so I just took the standard one and cut it a little bit so it's exactly the same size. From then on, you get huge improvements in power transfer, so I would say on par with the normal shoe, but you still get that lightweight, airy feel and comfort that you get in the EXOS. So that's one downside. The other downside of this shoe is, well, luckily it has a boa dial, but you kind of need to keep an eye on it. It has these little sleeves where the wire is guided, and because there's some friction in there, well, it's quite low, but if you just tighten it once when you set off for your ride, it actually isn't that tight as you think. So as you ride along, you kind of gradually need to increase the tension as the wire moves around in these loops until it gets to its final tension. This takes a couple of minutes usually, but didn't really bother me. As I said, the central locate dial is very easy to adjust, but that's one minor quibble that I have. Also, I would prefer to have a bit of a different dial. This one has a bit of a slippery surface, so with sweaty summer hands, it's sometimes not so easy to adjust precisely. Yeah, so this is one thing I would change. But overall, it's kind of a niche product, but I like it. For my use, it's perfect, and what I intended to do with it, well, perfectly fits the purpose. And I love it. It's also quite streamlined and narrow, with overshoes in particular, so yeah, a good choice for time trialist climbers. Not so much for sprinters, but a lot can be improved with a proper install. Okay, so that's all about the EXOS shoes. Now I'm really looking forward to try the new RAs. And with that, we'll see you sometime next week. I hope it's been informational and useful. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.